Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And we are joined here by our good friend Marie-Ève Mongrain. Excited to have you here for a full hour. Hello.
I know, that's exciting. I'm like, yeah. I always complain that we don't have enough time. So I'm like, there you go. Ask and the universe shall deliver.
Beautiful. Well, pleasure to have you here. For those that are listening to the podcast, I'll have her introduce herself. For those that you're watching, she looks stunning today in black.
You. And also I want to say we're going to be together for another 10 weeks, like until after the end of January.
Yay, I didn't know this.
Like,
great, thank you.
So yes, I am Marie-Ève Mongrain. I'm a life coach. I am a mindset life coach. I work with self-love, love attraction, and I help people create their reality or discover the reality that they really want. And we work with the self-sabotage and limiting beliefs, and that's what I do. And I just have so much fun doing it because I don't go in the you're desperate and you need my help energy. I go with it's fun. Let's be curious about what we can find out about ourselves.
Beautiful. I have to start off the show by asking though, how did Halloween go? Because last time you were all dressed up. How did it go with the kids?
It was awesome. And it's funny. My first question is, how was your Halloween?
Are you serious?
It was because I saw your skeleton family costume, right?
Are we that connected? Yes. Well, yeah, unfortunately I had my best guy friend who lives about 2 hours away. His mom passed. So they only had the wake on Halloween. So I had to we did Halloween party the night before. I had to go to the wake, and then my sister and their dad took the kids around trick-or-treating. So I did get to see them later in the day, but thanks. Overall, it was good because, besides that unfortunate event, my kids had a great time. And yours?
It was great. Actually, it rained all day, but it didn't stop us from going trick-or-treating. And in the morning, my girl's babysitter, she hasn't come, I haven't used her since June, but she's like, can we come and say hi to the girls? My mom and I, because we're close, we're pretty close. I'm like, yeah, for sure. And I said, actually, you want to come and eat dinner? I'm a really great hostess and I make really great dinner and I have fun. And they said, oh, of course. So they came and we did what is called a crazy dinner. I don't know if you've ever heard about that. We make a dinner. So it's a three-course meal, okay? And you have 5 items per course. But it's blank, and you're gonna give a menu to your guest, I guess. Your guest. For example, it was an Halloween theme. So I wrote number 1 is Halloween, number 2 is vampire, number 3 is whatever, scarecrow, whatever. So you're gonna fill out the 15, and people have to write. So for my first course meal, I will have the vampire and the Halloween and the candy, whatever. Yeah. But each word is associated to an actual food. So Halloween was associated with, I don't know, spaghetti. Okay. And then scarecrow would have been soup. And then candy is a fork. So you don't have anything in front of you. So you might get in the first meal, in the first course, all the cutlery with no food. Maybe a glass of water. And then the second course, you might get spaghetti soup dessert, which was pudding, a really cool pudding. But you might get that, but have no cutlery, so you're stuck eating with your hands. But after each course, you gotta clear the table. And that was so much fun. And the mom that came, she's like, I've never lived that in my entire life. I didn't even know that was possible. And the appreciation she had. And I'm like, I grew up with that. My mom was so creative. So it was kind of in honor of her as well, that I'm honoring that side of my mom. And it was just so much fun. And then we went for 45 minutes trick-or-treating in the car, and we're like, girls, you don't have to wear your seatbelt. I mean, who says that, right? Yeah. We were super slow, going with our umbrellas and back in, and they were cold. So they said, we want to go home. I wanted to push them, look, there's so many lights over there. How about we go there? No, we're done, mommy. We have no pile of candies, but they were happy.
Good. That's all that matters, right? They had a good time. And so did you.
I did. I had my nice Halloween costume. I was in the Ravenclaw, Harry Potter costume. I love it.
Well, you looked great. And I'm glad you had a good time. Exciting. Halloween brings out that inner child in us, I think, which we should have more often. Do you think it would help us in our mindset better? I mean, to stay in that. Yeah. Not everybody has that. They think, well, we're adults. We can't trick or treat. We can't. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yeah. If any teenager would come at my door, I gave full-size candy bars. And that is a mindset also that I want to work, because, when you're a kid, you enjoy having those full-size candy bars. Oh my God, this is the rich family. I don't know.
Yes. Exactly.
But money-wise, if we go with the mindset of like the financial aspect, if I give a little bag plus like 5-6 little chocolate treat or whatever treat, what's the cost of that? Maybe $1 per kid, maybe, right? Because you have the bags that you count. And like, so now I'm like, I was at Walmart, I got like, it was 4 chocolate bars or 12 chocolate bars for $9. So I got like Oreo, caramel, and I'm like 75 cents. I can't beat that. And I look like the cool neighbor who gives full-size chocolate bar.
Absolutely.
I'm charging less money than people are giving no treats. I'm like, this is so cool. And then the kids, they feel like super special for getting those.
Absolutely do. I do too. Even when you get, I remember when I was a kid, we would get even like quarters or even like $1 sometimes. I felt so cool to get money. I'm like, whoa, that, and even a bag of chips. I got to say, if I get a bag of like Lay's, I feel pretty good about it.
Yes. I got one time it was a goldfish. The person was handing out goldfish.
I had little goldfish packs this year too,
No,
as well as the candy.
Food, not the food, a real goldfish.
Oh,
in a bag of water.
Okay, that's above and beyond. That really must be someone rich.
But again, how much is a goldfish, right? If you go with, if it's $1 goldfish or $1 of candy, you know, you just say, yeah, we'll take it, right? It just doesn't matter. Like it's fun. It's really for fun.
That is adorable. That is a great thing to think about. Wow. And that gift of generosity goes a long way. And in your field, I'm sure you can talk more about that. But what's on your list?
Oh, I got like 2 pages. I said, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so
All right,
sorry.
go ahead.
Oh my goodness. Let me just make
Go
sure.
ahead.
So now, first of all, my website update, because that website has been down for a while. And I love how my inner being is guiding me to the best. And because I sat one day, I'm like, okay, let me work on this. And I started and I, upgraded. I paid for the upgrade and like, oh God, it took me 6 months the last time to like finish from start to beginning, from start to the end, my website. I said, I don't want to do that anymore. It's not to my highest excitement. So, and I knew from the past, like I had a friend who charged like $10,000 to make a website. I know somebody else, it was around 5,000. I said, you know what, let me just call GoDaddy and see how it works. For $3,000, they're making my own website. I just give them my stuff. And like, I also have the 1-year support where I can just say, hey, I want to change that. So now I finally remove myself. Like I'm a real business. I'm hiring people. Oh yeah.
You are.
So my website should be ready in about 2 weeks.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I have nothing to do. Like, I'm like, this is so amazing. I got nothing to do. And it's going to be even better than what I could have done. So now I can focus on my craft and my energy and sending it where it's needed, right? Or where people want it, where it's wanted.
Absolutely.
But until my website, Marie-Ève comes back online, you can access me on Instagram, first of all, at MaryMongrain90. And if you like, I'm also on TikTok, same handle, MaryMongrain90, where on that one, I do share a little bit about love attraction, but I like to, I sing, I talk about, my grief a lot, but in a funny way. That I'm doing something like this is funny. I'm laughing at my situation somehow. But anyway, so yeah. So if you have nothing to do, or if you actually want to do something that's fun, you can go on my TikTok too.
Awesome. See, I'm not much of a TikToker. I have an account, but my niece took it over. So it's my name, but it's her name. I don't know, but I have to check you out on there because these must be funny. I'm assuming they're going to be great.
Oh, I love doing the transition because for me, like life coaching is not just about me telling you, me explaining to you how life works, like how love attraction works, right? I'm embodying that. For me, I want to help people live a life of freedom and ease. And it's not just about coaching. Coaching is you coach yourself. I'm coaching people on working with their inner being.
Yeah.
I'm helping people trust their intuition again.
Yeah.
And so like, you can trust me, but I'm teaching you to trust yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Because so that's what I do. And for me, if I was just doing this, I would be bored. I would be bored myself. I know I talk a lot about, mirroring but in all, like who I am is because I am that fun person. I bring the excitement. And yes, my inner child, she likes to play. And, when our kids are excited, like, yeah, we're like, shh, calm down. Like, don't make that much noise. But now I'm actually telling my kids, yes, express that joy because the universe knows energetically that you're loving this. So it's going to bring you more excitement like this. We always start to kind of like, oh, like don't be too excited. Like, don't, right. As if it's a shame to have a good news, or like we don't want to make people uncomfortable if something grand happens to us, right? Oh, I got money when my husband passed away. I was ashamed I got money, right? Like it's not a fun. I feel like people are judging me. I was judging myself, but you don't want to become that person, so you go in the other direction. But yeah, so that inner child, I'm like, yes, come. There's no shame. You want to yell, you want to scream the top. You're gonna be on Times Square. Well, then scream it to the top of the lung. I don't care. You deserve all of it, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Absolutely.
So first thing I want to talk about is exactly that lack versus abundance mindset. And I saw that your post with the boots on, like you found your boot, yay, and they're really lovely boots.
But what happened was, because my car, the tire was leaking air. So to drive to the city, I had to pull over, fill up my tire with air. So I thought maybe the boot fell out of the bag in the car. It was the middle of the night, 2 a.m. Long story short, that didn't happen. So I called my son's father, who stayed over to watch my kids when I went to work. And I said, look for it. He's like, I don't see it. I get home, it's right there on the bathroom floor where I told him to look. But yeah, but by the way, those shoes are like 15 years old. I don't buy expensive shoes like that, but those were expensive shoes, which but okay, go ahead about abundance.
I still get it. And I don't buy expensive shoes either, but it was 3 years ago. I went to a wedding in Edmonton. It was my friend's wedding. And so I have money, right? So like, I'm not a millionaire yet. I'll go with yet, because I want to create my reality. So but I was so scared of spending money. Like it took me my laundry machine to like kind of not wash well before I buy one, right? And say, oh, I do want the pedestal one. So before I go with what I truly want and desired, there was a lot of resistance. And so we go to the Edmonton Mall, which is like, I think it's the biggest mall in Canada. And I see it's Sarah Jessica Parker shoe store.
Oh yeah.
And I love Sarah Jessica Parker. I'm like, oh my God, like it's Sex and the City and stuff. But I go in, I'm looking at these shoes. I'm like, oh my God. But a pair of shoes, $750.
Wow.
I was like, I never spent, I don't buy expensive clothes. Like my mom, like I never had brand name. Like it was like the thrift store. And now I go in and I'm looking at shoes and I wear 7. So anyone who wants to know, I wear 7 size shoes. And then I see, which one did I see first? I don't remember which one I saw first. But I'm pretty sure I saw these one first.
Whoa.
Like a bow in the back.
Beautiful.
I saw these and I'm like, oh my God. I don't care. I got money. How about I treat myself? I deserve it. After all I went through, I deserve it.
Yes.
But I'm like, you know what? I'm here. I got 2 pair of shoes.
Yay. Oh my God. Let me see the sparkly ones.
And like I'm using them for all my photo shoots. Those are my.
Oh my goodness! What brand are those? I'm just curious.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
It's her own brand. I didn't even know.
Brand.
Oh my goodness, those are beautiful.
I can't get that in Montreal. Like I needed to go to Edmonton.
Yes.
Usually I go to stores, like a shoe store, and like no, you have to ask now the size 7. All our display is size 7.
Yeah, that's
the store is size 7. So I could just put my shoes in my feet in
for
any
everyone. Shoe. Oh my goodness.
So that was like, for me, that was my gift. I'm like, this was one of the first time I actually, felt, it's nice to spend money on myself.
And by the way, those are practical because the black you'll get a lot of use out of, and the sparklies too. If you bought yellow shoes, maybe not as practical to waste the $750, because how many times could you wear yellow shoes?
Now this is a lack mindset, right? And there's something that says art shouldn't be useful, right? So if you go with everything needs to be practical, because I was a practical person. I had nothing before my house that was not practical. And then I was at a restaurant one day. I was sitting there and I saw a nice painting on the wall, and it was $350. I never bought original artwork.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, interpelled by the name of the thing and the color. I'm like, yes. So I got it and I bought the painting there. I'm like, I never bought this, like $250 to just put on my wall for me to watch it. But now every time I look at it, I'm like, I feel amazing because that's me. Like, yes, I have expensive taste, right? I have to go back to, who am I? Do I want the copy or I want the actual, like I am myself an original artwork.
Wow.
And I love, now I bought the second one and I'm buying things, and it's just always referred to me as, okay, how am I seeing myself? If I don't buy it because of the money, but I truly want it anyway, right? So it's really about the mindset, and about the shoes. It's like, I could have said, I don't have the money. Then the universe, when it hears you don't have the money, well, you're going to actually lose money, and you're going to have less and less money because, well, she doesn't have the money to get them.
Mm-hmm.
If there's something that, for example, a pair of shoes like this, like, I really want them, but I cannot afford them, you can say, I can afford them because in the reality, I am very abundant and the universe gives me what I need, but I choose not to get them, right?
Okay.
When you go from a choice place, the universe knows, oh, it's just her choosing not to get them. Like, because she can't. So even if you want that big $3 million house, yes, your bank account does not have it at the moment, but you don't know when you're matched to it. Somebody's going to maybe give you money. Somebody might invite you. Hey, can you babysit my house for the next 3 years as I have this contract? You don't know how you're going to get it. But you say, I just live in a big house like this right now because, oh my God, can you imagine all the cleanup I have to do?
Yeah, exactly. More space.
Another example of lack versus abundance mindset. I'm actually more like, what do I want? Do I want to save money? Or do I want to get what I want just because I want it, right? And so a couple weeks ago, here the gas, we go with dollars. So it was about $1.48, $1.48 for a liter of gas. I don't know how it goes in gallon, but I said, I went to Costco. I don't know. Do you know what Costco is?
Do I know what Costco is? That's one of my favorite stores.
Okay,
and it's on my list today. I got to get the polio. I got to get the milk. I got to get the eggs. I have to return an animatronic from Halloween. I love Costco. So you're a Costco shopper?
Yes. Oh my God. And I go fill up my card there because it's cheaper.
Yep.
Right? So now I said, oh, let me try something. How about I'm deserving of filling up my car with Supreme gas, the best of the best, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna pay 10 cents more at Shell. Like, just a regular is the same price as Supreme at Costco. So so $1.55 for regular across the street, or $1.58 for Supreme at Costco. I'm like, I'm gonna spend the 3 cents more.
Yeah.
Get the Supreme, and it doesn't cost me more than I would have spent normally. So that's like my fourth gas tank that I'm filling up with the Supreme, because having a lifestyle of luxury and it doesn't mean you pay more.
Yeah.
It's just about how you see things. Oh, but I want to save money because I want to. No, the universe will bring you what you want.
The universe will bring it what you want.
I wanted to buy I bought a nice set of knives 2-3 years ago. And I'm like, oh, this one is on sale, right? I'm someone who likes bargains. Like, oh,
me too.
On sale. But I wanted the one that was not on sale. It fit more with my kitchen. Like, this is more the color of my kitchen. I like this. I say, you know what? Let me treat myself again. And then I bought the one that was not on sale. I got the till, and it had $100 off on it. It was just not advertised. So that just showed me, if I want it, the universe will bring it to the price that I want. Doesn't matter. I want it. I'm ready to pay full price. Well, then the universe like, well, she's ready to get it no matter what. We'll give it to her, and she gets to save money too, right? But I got more money. I'm being paid to shop there pretty much. That's how I see. If I get a discount, it's them giving me money for shopping there. I want to see where the money's coming in.
Yeah.
If I'm getting sponsorship, instead of saying, oh, I still have to pay that much. No, I'm getting sponsorship. I'm getting that much money. It doesn't go in my account, but I'm still attracting that money. When I sold my house, I lost money on all the money I put in over the years. It had a lot of things that were wrong. I lost money. But I said, how can I bring that to my advantage?
Yeah.
I didn't lose money. I attracted that amount.
Ooh.
Right. I sold my house. I wanted $525 for it. I got $450. And I was okay because I'm done with this house. There was so much trauma and chaos.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I lost money. No. Today, in this reality, I've attracted $450,000.
What?
My mortgage is paid. Like, I can choose to pay my mortgage, or I can choose to do something else with that money, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm debt free. Oh, but it's all about how you see things. And if you want the universe to bring you more money, how can I make this something good for me?
Yeah.
No, that's how I use my example here.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, go ahead. This is good.
Yeah, because then otherwise you can be like, oh my God, I lost money. And then you're just going to drag yourself down. I knew I should not have trust, right? Now I want to get out of that blaming mindset. I want to get out of this stuckness.
Yeah. Got it.
But for me to get there, I used to think like this, right? I was afraid of spending all my money. I was afraid of trusting people. But to work with my mindset, especially with the inheritance, I did a course on Mind Valley, and it's with Ken Honda. I don't remember Happy Money or something about money. He has a book that's called Happy Money. And then it showed energy-wise, how it works and how money is just energy.
True.
Right? We transpose all of our fear on money, all of our insecurity. Oh, money brings me comfort. Money brings me this. No, it's because you feel comfortable that you have the money. Because then if you lose the money, you're losing comfort, security, and everything, right?
True. Yeah, you're right.
Money is just a co-creative component to what you desire. And when you see it as like you're a co-creative component to what I desire as much as money is, right? It's just energy. And one thing that I've learned, and that was one, Scott Mill, that's the guy who works with them on that course. He said, if I have $5 and I go to the bakery, do I want the $5 or I want that muffin? What do you want? If you're in the bakery, it's because you want the muffin, right?
Correct.
So that money, I don't care. I don't care about having a $5 in my hand. That's not what I want. I want the muffin. I'm hungry. I want this. So it's not the money I want, it's the muffin. So the money helps me have it though, right? It's just helping me do that exchange. But somebody could have just said, hey, I got free muffins today. You want a free muffin, right? Because it's the muffin I want.
Yeah.
When you start seeing that money is only helping you, and if you believe that the only way you can get something is by buying it, that's the only way you're going to attract getting your things. You're not going to attract the magical ways of the universe to bring you those things.
Ooh, interesting. This is good conversation. I'm in. Go ahead. Getting closer.
It's just like there's Hawaii. I know my mentor likes to mention Hawaii. I don't know. I'm the one saying it now all the time. Hawaii is on a frequency, all right? It's an emotional frequency. How will you feel when you're in Hawaii? You'll feel carefree. You'll be like,
never been. I'm dying to go. I want to go to the island of Victoria too, which is near you. Isn't it in Canada?
Where?
Victoria, the island of Victoria. Have you been there?
Oh, that's on the other coast.
Yeah, I know. I heard about that. That's beautiful too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so how are you going to feel when you're going to go to Victoria? Like, how do you want to feel? Like, what are you imagining you're going to feel? Because the closer you can embody how you're going to feel, then the faster you're going to get there, because everything is just about emotion. But that's why about manifestation, they say, go on how you're going to feel when you have that boyfriend, how are you going to feel when you have that dream job, how are you going to feel then? Because now, right now, let's say I'll go for Hawaii, because a lot of people like, it's expensive, blah, blah. So people always say, well, I need to work about 5 years. I'm going to save money every year, a little bit here and there. And then we're going to be able to afford going to Hawaii, right? But the thing is, the universe says, oh, the only way they think they can go to Hawaii is by working their way there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you align and say, oh, I already am on vacation, it's already fantastic. When you work on your emotion, when you're on that vibrational scale of Hawaii, you have to live that dream, that manifestation, no matter what. You could be broke, but if you're on that same level, you're going to live Hawaii. Now, the trick with manifesting is you have to let go on the how of the control. Because what's going to happen is, if you control it, the only thing I can think of is by making money, then that's the only way it's going to happen. You say, universe, this is what I want. I know it's done. I don't know when, but I know I'm going to Hawaii. Now, surprise me how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, you might have your friends saying, hey, I'm going to Hawaii. I've got an extra ticket. My husband and I were divorced and our honeymoon is not happening. So here, want to come with me as my honeymoon travel? I'm like, yeah. Or you might win a ticket. You might have a family member dying or family member bringing you and giving you money to go and say, hey, I know I stressed you out. So here's some money. Go treat yourself, right? We do not know, but we have to say, I don't care how it's going to happen. Because then all the magic part all the components that you need will gather behind the scene and bring it to you. And for me, who was a control freak, right? Going on a date with a guy, I'd plan like if it rained, if it was too full there, if like this and this and this, like that's overworking, like overwhelming for a person to think of all these things. Well,
you're right.
I'm going to have a good time no matter what. Universe, bring me a good time. That's exactly what's going to happen.
I love it. Your energy. Just, oh my gosh. You are here having a good time. And by the way, let's remind our listeners who are tuning in, who we're talking to, tell us how to contact you. And we're going to continue. No break, but let's just tell them.
Yes.
Go
I'm Marie-Ève Mongrain. I'm a life coach, a mindset life coach, and I work with the law of attraction. You can find me on Instagram at Mary Mongrain 90, and on TikTok as well. My website, maryevmongrain.com, should be ready in about 2 weeks. So you can take note. There's going to be a launch. I'm going to have a lunch for that.
Yes. Good. So let's continue. So think positive.
But it's not just thinking positive, right? Because if you feel
Be
sad,
positive.
you have to honor your sadness. Because an emotion is not positive or negative. It's just an emotion and as a message. If you're feeling rage, because there was an injustice that was created, so your rage is just there to say, okay, this is not working with your value system, right? So it's just, we go, oh, I have to be positive. But if you feel sad, you need to love the shadow part of yourself, right? Because to be a full authentic person, you gotta embrace all of those parts that you don't like. I don't like when I'm raging. I don't like when I'm this way. But that person, that part of me is my inner child who's feeling unheard. And for me, like it was last week, I think, and I'm like, oh my God, right? If you believe, and that was on TikTok, I'm on the spiritual side of TikTok, but the guy said, you can stop now. Like, you don't need to be sick. You don't need to have anything bad happening to you for you to see yourself. Because I wanted people to see me. I wanted people to help me. I wanted people to feel for me and be there for me. But all along was my inner child who wanted me to be there for her. Because I was always there for everyone else.
Wow, yeah.
And I had no compassion. Well, my husband is dead. Let's keep going, right? And I'm like, why are people not caring more? I'm like, because I didn't care myself. So they were a mirror to how I felt within myself. I was pushing down and repressing those feelings. Like, I can't be upset at my husband. He died and he fought for his life, whatever. I can be upset at them for screwing me up, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now when you go back within, how does that feel? And it's always the work of how is that situation making you feel? That's what I do. That's why I enjoy doing.
Aw. And for those that don't know, you lost your husband how many years ago now?
In 2017, so 4 years ago.
Wow. And I could only imagine the devastation, the for your whole family. And you can recover, you can make it, you can be resilient. And that's what you're here to teach, everyone else, right?
Yes. And at first, because I'm the student who always like followed the rules and always like follow like what I needed from my teacher to have the best grade. Okay. Like, oh, it's easy. Here's what you need to do to impress me and have perfect grade. So for me in my grief, my challenge was I still had that mindset. I want to be the perfect griever, right?
Aww, yeah.
I want to be the strong person. I'm like, I didn't cry. Oh my God, I'm so strong. I thought it was good for that crying. I thought people. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm in this with like, so I thought it was hot shit. Sorry about this, but I thought it was super amazing. I'm like, oh my God, I can do it. And then emotions started creeping up and I started feeling shame and feeling stuff. I'm like, whoa, that I didn't see coming. I know it's all part of grief process. And one thing I can say to those who are grieving, and even for you, like even if it's somebody that's in part of your family, me, it's my husband. And but people grieve differently for whoever they were connected to, right? I can't judge who you were connected to.
Yeah.
But it's just that the grieving process is different from everyone. And you can't compare, because as soon as you start comparing, it's like, why is she sad and I'm not? Why is she living this and I'm not? Right. And I was like, okay, well, I have nothing. I didn't know if I was doing great on my grief journey because I had no checklist of
how do you know?
Yeah, I've done this. Because grief is not linear, apparently. And you might get triggered. But the thing is, your brain is super amazing. And I noticed I most likely have dissociated a lot from my own emotion because it's so hard. It was so hard, but my brain already had trauma in the past that now it protected me, right? When my mom passed away, she also passed away in 2012. And I was there with her for a final week. And when she passed away, so I was like, well, I'm ready to accompany my husband in the last moments, right? So I was like, I knew what to expect or kind of what to expect. Then, I didn't expect the family, to not play along with what I was going with. So that's where my trauma came. But I felt ready. I'm like, maybe one day I'm going to be a death doula because I'm like, I was so calm.
Yes, I agree. When I took care of my mom in the end, I thought the same thing. Like it was so beautiful. I wish I could do hospice and be with people. Yes, yes.
I don't want to do that anymore. Right now, I'm not. I'm going to help people,
Live.
do their thing and attract what their dream life, because that's what I want to do. I know there's a lot of people out there working with the people who are dying, and they're doing an amazing job, and I want to thank them, because without their support at the hospital, it would not have been that easy, right? But again, I also attracted people with a mindset like me, right? We attract people who are on a vibration. But yeah, so my husband, so he had cancer. And so in my journey, it's been 4.5 years now. And just yesterday, I cried. I was in my bath. I love taking my bath. It feels like so warm, and I feel safe in crying in my bath. I don't know for you, but I was crying. Like I went back into the story, because my husband came back home, and he's the one who told me like he had less than 4% chances of surviving 5 years after 3 months of treatments. But I'm like, I wasn't there. I was regretting. I'm like, I should not have taken a nap that day. Like I had shame and regret for a long time, right? And yesterday was like, what if I was there with him? I thought I was going to be okay. But yesterday I put myself in that story and I cried. I'm like, it was really for the best I wasn't there, because I would not have been able to drive. I don't know. Like
everything happens for a reason. Yeah.
And like it happened for me, and taking it from the doctor or him was better from him. Right. Wow. And that, like, so I felt the pain that I didn't necessarily felt completely that day, but it takes a while, and my brain protected me all this time. And I had mechanism that stopped me, defense mechanism that stopped me from living this emotion, because they were so strong, but they would be released here and there. So for me to be able to process, and I became a life coach. So I learned about emotion, and I learned about it's a thought, right? So I'm not afraid anymore of crying and living my emotion. But before I was like, when I lost my dog, who got hit by a car when I was younger, my dad, like I was crying. My dad's like, stop it. You're crying more now than when your mom's going to die.
Yeah.
Like, so when you're a kid and your parents saying you to stop crying and stop expressing what's going on, well, now you don't even feel safe. You're like, okay, am I in danger? So your brain feels like it's danger to live in emotion. But as you gain more confidence within yourself and you feel safer, then your brain's like, oh, I can process that emotion now, right? So when I felt in chaos and being gaslit by my in-laws, and like my brain's like, alert, we cannot cry because we're just gonna get abused. Like things gonna happen, right? So now I'm in this house in this area, and I know it's perfect. Like I can process it, and I'm supported. And so that's the same thing. That's why I want to offer people as well, is when you're going through these emotions. Like I did some EFT, and that's when I felt safe for the first time to express my anger by doing like, oh, the truth is I am angry. This happened, and I'm really, really angry. And then you cry when you do tapping. You just cry, but that's your body that's releasing all of the junk that happened, right? And that was so good for me. And that's why I bring to people as well, that safe space of not judging your anger, right? For me, there's a place that I'm like, okay, anger is bad, but no, because that person, if we go on, everything is as a vibration, despair, powerlessness is on a lower scale than anger. And then you have like love higher, right? So if you're suicidal or if you're depressed, but you are angry, you can't be suicidal if you're angry. Because it's a different scale. It's on a different vibration. So I prefer you to be angry and break stuff. That means you're feeling something, right? You're not desperate. You're feeling something. It means something is happening within yourself. You might not be able to pinpoint that this is the emotion you're living, but at least there's something. So we cannot judge somebody who's despair or somebody you don't know where they were the day before, right?
Yeah.
That's why I like to say everything is just a step. You get better and better, right? You're feeling relief. So if you're angry, the next one, I don't know what it is regret. Well, regret is better than anger, right? So it's just like, hey, let's celebrate that step in your vibration. Because when you celebrate, you're attracting more things to celebrate around you, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's I can talk too. I had a coach.
You're great. I know you have a big list of notes there, so I'm watching you. For those that are on the radio side right now listening, they don't realize maybe we're also doing a live Zoom. So I'm watching her and she's on a roll. So if I'm quiet, that's because you know what? She's got a whole long list of things to talk about today. So I'm not interrupting too much unless when I
If you
need
have
to.
questions, please.
Of course. Look, and I have my notes here too. See?
Awesome. Because I don't want it just to be a monologue. I do enjoy the interaction.
No, of
When you
course.
talk, it helps me also like to bring some extra details. Because I can go on and I'm working on connecting with people too. So I want, if you have questions, for sure. And also, if you have any question for those who are listening or watching, you can send me messages, right, on Instagram or on TikTok, or my email is marymongrain90@hotmail.com. Feel free to send me question. And since I've got another 9 shows to go, I would love to answer your questions because I want to help you guys. So if you have a situation like, I feel stuck in this situation, I can bring some of my knowledge to your situation, or just bring a new perspective. And that's where I love. I can talk about love attraction and about the theory of it. But I love when okay, let's talk with people and real people and see how I can help you and just shift that mindset for you, right? So let me keep going now then.
Yes, I'm laughing because I just have to point out you have an amazing Disney Halloween Christmas decoration.
Yes, I put it on yesterday. Yesterday I cleaned all my Halloween. Oh, I see a ghost. I'm not all
Wait, did you take everything down already for Halloween?
Oh yeah. I'm like, it feels like, okay, now it's done. And I'm like, usually I would put my Christmas decoration in the first week. And yes, I'm like, it feels weird this year to put Christmas, right? I always look forward for Christmas. I'm like, this is the best time of the year. And I love Christmas. But then I'm like, I can at least put that new Disney castle I got. I got it at Costco, by the way.
No, really?
Yes.
I haven't seen it. Oh, I have to go there this week. Really?
We're going on a Disney cruise between Christmas and New Year. I'm like, this will be a reminder for us that we're going to Disney.
Perfect. Good enough, right?
We'll spend New Year at Disney as well in Florida. So like, this is just, so I got this and I got 2 plants, fake plants, like planters outside. And I'm like, then this weekend, like it gives me time to clean up and, not see a big mess for the next 2 months.
Wow. Sounds like it's going to be a magical time of the year.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. It. And I've never been on a Disney cruise, but I did take my kids to Disney for the first time in August.
Yes. How did it go?
It was amazing. I'm shocked. We didn't really have anything planned. We didn't know. I bought the tickets a week in advance. I booked the days to go to this park that I know nothing about the parks. And everyone's like, you got to plan months in advance. And I'm like, I don't have time to plan. Wung it. And it was amazing. Yes.
When we went to 3 years ago, we also had never been before. And one of my friends, she had her Disney agency, travel agent. So I hired her. I'm like, yeah. So she said, what do you want to do? I want to do everything princess. I want to eat at the
castle. Yeah.
Castle. And she said, well, it's all full. Like it's all booked up. Because people booked 6 months in advance. I said, well, if you can find me a spot, boom. A couple minutes later, she said, hey, there's a spot that freed up for you guys. So she planned everything. And even our fast pass, whatever it's called, for a few of the things. And there is one that we didn't get the chance to book. But then as we arrived there, we wanted to go see, it was like the Belle, to do a little theater, a little play with the kids. It's so
Beauty
awesome.
and the Beast.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast. And there was 45 minute an hour wait. I'm like, oh no. We left, we came back, and we could just get in. There was a fast pass that just opened before we left.
Wow.
Well, yes, instead of leaving, we're gonna go do that, girls. And everything just worked out. And the times that the slots that she said, oh, nap time for your girls, go back to the hotel. Actually, those are the times it rained. I'm like, please do not do anything anymore with napping, because I don't want the rain anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't need 6 months in advance, because whatever you're due to do, somebody will cancel last minute. That's how it works. It's all about energy. And that's one thing I want to chat about here.
Sure.
Just look at my page here.
Go for it, darling.
Because we're so stressed, right? We're so stressed about, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. There's so much to do. I need to do everything in advance. They're booked up for 6 months. There's no way I can get into that. But when you do the inner work, I know you're creating your life. Go ahead.
Well, because my kids wanted to go to the TRex restaurant it used to be called, what is it? it's called Disney Springs now, where all the restaurants are. And there's a new T-Rex dinosaur place. And I kept calling again, just a few weeks before, reservation. No, it's all booked up. We went that night just to walk around to show them the Lego store and the Disney store. I'm like, we can't go to the restaurant. We'll just go back to the hotel. I walked in and I'm like, yeah, just by any chance. I said, I know you're going to say no, but do you have a reservation for, it was like my sister and I, the kids, for like 8. She's like, yeah, absolutely. Come right in. I'm like, what? I'm like, I've been trying to get, and it worked out. We got to sit there and see the beautiful like aquarium inside and then the dinosaur stuff. And it was just so beautiful. The T-Rex, I can't even think of the name of the restaurant, but big T-Rex. So that worked out too, you see?
But you wanted it, your kids wanted it, and the universe made things happen. Like we don't see it. Oh, when is my man gonna come? I don't know. But the guy is working on himself. The universe is making things for him to be your perfect dream guy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So making people say, oh, I guess we should go do that today instead of doing that. Like people are changing plans because you want it.
Yeah.
And one example I love is going to get my nails done. And I think I already talked to you, but since we're doing the hour, I want to repeat. I like to repeat myself sometimes because I think the value in the story is amazing. So I went to get my hair done. And then it was at the same place beside a nail salon. I said, let me see if they have a space for my nails. I want it done, right? And I said, yeah, of course. Like, they took about 4 hours because I was doing like the full spa, pedicure, whatever. I'm like, oh, sure. Yes, I'm okay. And so I asked her, I said, can you tell me, like, was this spot open like time? Like, or did you have no reservation? She's like, no. This morning we had somebody who canceled last minute. And I'm like, So I'm asking because I like to see how I'm creating my reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I ask. I'm like, I don't care. I got a spot. I could just, I don't care. I got my spot. Oh my God. But I'm like, okay, so somebody canceled. And like, it just keeps happening. How it works like this. They cancel. Now I just walk in, say, at the Walmart, we have a nail salon there. I'm like, hi, you have space? Like, yeah. And then there's one day I was sitting there, she was doing my nail. Then a lady comes in an hour later and she's like, well, you're like an hour late, right? Like, so I got someone else. So that person was late for her appointment, which I'm like, thank you for being late because I got your spot now, right?
Yes. Everything happens for a reason, for sure.
Everything happens for me.
Yes.
I'm the reason. I guess I'm saying everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you go like this and you meet people that things happen for them, you're creating an amazing story, an amazing life with people who are things happening for them, right? So now we are together talking, not because, oh my God, she's talking to me. I'm like, not because it's bad, because it's good. And we're both into helping out each other, right? Like in getting both our lives better. And we're both happening for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And not just things are not happening to me, but the reason, and it just came out, like you're saying, things happen for a reason. Things happen for me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like, I mind blown. I mind blown myself all the time when I talk. But yeah, if you believe something, that you want something, right? It's yours. And like, you just did, I think you say no. Why? You wanted it, right? You wanted it. You just don't know how it happened. And then you say, oh, let's go. You were attracted to that restaurant and the place was for you. That's why you went there, because that place was for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, there's a big thing here with daycare where people like, it's hard to find daycare. We have affordable daycare here. And people are like, oh my God, all the daycares, they have a lineup, like it's so long. And when I sent my daughters, they were 18 months, no, they were 2 and 4. And I sent them to Montessori daycare school, like private school. And my oldest, she got in. And I think I told you last week, my second one, she didn't have a spot. And so I did the inner work, like if I'm honest, and that's one thing. If you don't get something, that's one thing. If you don't get something that you want, go with it and say, why did I not get that? Why is that not aligned with me yet? And be honest. I wanted to spend more time with my baby girl. And I'm like, honestly, I don't want to spend more time. I want to work on myself. Boom. Yeah. The next day I get called saying, hey, we got a spot for your baby girl in the classroom that I wanted. Right? So things work out. And so if you stress, oh my God, I'm like, I don't have time to do anything. Well, guess what? You'll be proven right. You'll try to be like, well, you're late. Oh my God, we got this deadline, right? Everything will happen in that energy that you're having. So there was a coach one day. I was supposed to have a coach call with one of my friends. Like we exchanged coaching calls, and it was supposed to be at 10 o'clock. And I was getting my nails done. I'm like, I wish I could finish my pity as well. So I said, oh, can we just postpone this afternoon? She's like, yeah, for sure. So me taking care of myself, which was a hell yes, I want to do this for me, actually was good for her, because now she got a couple more minutes to sign up her client who paid for a full package, a 3-month package. Right? If you think, oh, if I cancel, that screws them. Like, this is not good for them. If you believe that you acting up for your own needs is bad, because we're always wondering, oh, but I gave my word, blah, blah. But since everything is energy, giving your word if you don't want to do it is worse than actually canceling.
Got it.
So me canceling or postponing on her and doing something that was good for me. Who canceled a coaching call to get their nails done, right? I did. And she, because of that was good for me. It was good for her. She got more money. She got a client.
Wow.
Another client. And with that client, right, we have fun, so we understand each other. And I had a friend at home, a guy friend, and I wanted to have some sexy time. Like, oh my God, my appointment is like in 5 minutes. And I said, well, I create my reality. Let me see if I can postpone half an hour. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
And so I sent her a message. She responds to me 15 minutes later. She's like, oh yeah, go ahead. Like, I'll meet you in half an hour. And so I had my sexy time, which is what I wanted. And then I went to see her, and then we talked on Zoom because she was in Turkey. And I said, so just so I can see, right? What did you like? How was that a good thing for you? She said, well, I had meeting all day, all morning. I had not time to eat my lunch, and I was going to have like all afternoon of meetings. So that extra half hour gave me time to eat.
Ooh.
So taking care of myself, like of what I wanted was what was to my highest excitement, was a good thing for her because she got to nourish her body, right?
True.
And I'm like, oh, this is so amazing. One more example. I was in bed one time. I was like putting my girls to bed, and sometimes I like to just lounge in my bed and do nothing else. I'm like, oh, but then I was meeting her with another friend at 8:30 on Zoom, and I was like, oh, I don't feel it. Like, And then she sends me an email. She's like, I just came back from the beach. She's like, honestly, right now, my excitement is just to sit down with a coffee and read my book. So I'm just going to cancel.
Wow. And you're like, yes.
Like, no worries. Like, I'm sorry. Like, don't be like, things happen, right? If you cannot say, I'm going to cancel, people will cancel.
Wow.
In my business, if you cancel like your appointment, I know it's because a part of me either didn't want to be there or I had something else that I needed to do. Not that I don't want to be there, but energetically, you want me at my best, right? I want to give myself at my best.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, I got an appointment. How is that good for my client? It's better that we cancel and re-meet somewhere, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why I'm like, if people cancel, I don't feel good charging people because I know it's my vibration. I know it's me. So the universe made sure that I had extra time to do XYZ, or maybe I needed more time with the first client I had, right? Yeah. Maybe it's the client who needed more time with me. And I'm like, yeah, well, I got someone I can't. Oh, wait, they cancel, right? So there's always that the universe is going to bring something in that sense. This is like, there's no stress. If I'm stressed, like people are going to be stressed. If I'm late, like if I'm going to be late. No, I went to a Caro appointment again. Like at first when I was starting to just, I'm like, oh, I'm creating. I got them, like I left 5 minutes later than I should have. And I got there 5 minutes later, but the client was still in the patient room. Like she was still working with the last patient. So I'm like stressing out. I'm like, if I'm late, if there's something that's pushing me when I leave or something's going on, it's because something's going on with them that they need that extra time.
Yeah.
So I don't stress anymore. I'm like, oh, the red light. I'm like, go red light. No. That means maybe they're not there yet. Maybe there's like, right? They may be not. So I don't know why I have that delay, but the extra red light that makes me angry because I'm going to be late. It's just for them.
We're the greater good. You know, you hear so many stories like that where people said, oh, I was supposed to be there at that time, but then this happened. So my flight got delayed and the plane crashed. I have a friend who was on the, what was it? Flight, oh my gosh, the one that landed on the Hudson in New York. She went to the airport that day. Long story short, she missed her flight. She was late. She would have survived. But the tragic thing of the whole flight landing on the water, there's so many people who say, oh my goodness, it's your time or it's not in certain things. So those things happen, right?
And it's fun. Like when you see that if you believe you're always at the right place at the right time, then you're attracting all the good thing at the right time.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
It's all about energy. And I used to be like, oh, sending my kids to school, like, how am I going to protect them? The teacher don't have the same value system as me. What if something happens? And like, we saw, well, in the past, I don't want to bring that back in the future, but we saw, I had evidence that it's not safe, whatever, even to move the US, right? Oh my God, like, gun safety, blah, blah. But I'm safe. Wherever I'm going to move next, I'm going to be safe. My kids are going to be safe because I believe we're safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to create that new reality in that place I'm moving. I'm going to bring the evidence. See, it's safe here. See, it's safe. See, they're good. See, like, right? Because they're just a match to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to attract the good behavior of these people or whoever, like whatever I'm working with. Always bring the best because I believe I have the best. And I'm bringing out that out of people. I'm drawing it out, like, give me your best.
You're sucking it out, but not in a bad way. And it just, energetically, it's a nice way. It's just like a vacuum.
Yeah. Well, if you're shitty with other people and
hey,
you're going to be good. Like one guy I was chatting with for over 2 years. Like, I'm dating this girl. I don't even care about her, but for some reason I care. I'm not going to hurt you because I'm like, well, you can't hurt me anyway, because I'm the only one to decide if your behavior is hurtful or not, right? Okay. I'm the one with the power to say if that's hurtful or not.
True. Yeah, you're right.
But he was like on his best behavior with me. I'm like, okay, like, all right, I'll take it. And it's fun, like when you have somebody with whom you can be that person, right? When people always say, well, they're the rat of like the family, or like they're the people like you can count on. Well, they keep bringing that. So when you have somebody says, I don't care what people say, I know you're a good person. I know you have something good in you. And just to spark that light and joy in that person that didn't even believe in themselves anymore, right? Mm-hmm. That's also what I like to bring, is that I can bring you hope. It's not just hope. It's I know you're good. There's good in you. But everybody else, and you just kept believing that it was not good. So it's just to have that extra, but that one bubble, that having one person believing in you when you don't believe in yourself. Yeah. It's also fun. Like it's good to have. Because sometimes you can get all the compliments, but if you don't believe them yourself, you're just like, nah, just sing that for, Like my husband's like, oh, you're so hot. Like you're so pretty when you cry. I'm like, oh, come on. You're just because you're my husband, you're saying that, right? Like just because you're my parents, you're saying I'm awesome, right? I didn't even believe it myself. Now I'm like, oh yeah, thank you for noticing. I know. Guys are like, oh yeah, you're so hot. Yeah, I know. Thank you. Like I don't want to be arrogant, but now it doesn't come as, I don't need that anymore because I give it to me every day. I'm looking at myself in the mirror like, damn girl.
I look good. Yeah. I saw your modeling pictures too. Yeah, you look good.
Oh, I'm like, but that was a dream, right? I never thought I would be able to model. I'm like, oh my God, look at this girl. When I saw, and I know you pretty much saw the one that, it says empower with my 2 picture. Like,
yes, that was,
And I'm like, I never saw myself as that sexual being. There was always shame about being feminine, and when I saw that, I'm like, holy moly, how do I not have a man yet in my life? Like, I'm like, how do I not have someone in my life yet? Because I'm enjoying myself right now. I'm enjoying this. I don't put it down anymore. I'm just, look, guys, what you missed out. Look what you're missing out. Because that's for my one special man who's coming in my life soon.
I love your positivity, your energy. Awesome. It is. By the way, who's your photographer? Do you have someone that you use in particular? There's one that in the red dress that you did.
The one in the red dress is Andre Bouchard. Like
so pretty.
Oh yeah, that was so much fun. I do some exchange. Like I give my time. They give me the picture. So picture where time exchange, picture for picture, and I got different one because I like to work with different people. I see this time, I would like to have that in my portfolio. So I'm like, hey, let's work together. And I haven't worked twice with the same person because I just enjoy the variety.
Yeah, so absolutely.
It's amazing. I want that kind of picture for me. Right? I'm doing it for me too. But I know that my energy, by sharing this, I've helped people. One girl in the group I'm on the collective with Nick Bro, she said, Marie-Ève, by posting these pictures, I'm someone who was shy and pudic. I don't know if it's an English word, but like where she didn't want to show naked skin. And now she posted a picture of her in lingerie and say, because of her, I developed my self-awareness and self-confidence. And now I made this picture and I feel so good about me. I'm like, oh my God, like so good. Like the recognition. I'm like, oh, well, I didn't do anything other than posting my picture, but me doing it is giving permission to other people to say, hey, I can do that too. There's no
Absolutely.
shame, right?
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Definitely can. Marie-Ève Mongrain, we're almost out of time. We have just 3 minutes left. So I want to make sure we cover everything. What else is on that sheet for you today?
One more thing is, yesterday I had a coach who's the one, he came to me a couple of weeks ago. Apparently he wanted me, like he's trying to reach, to gain people.
Mhm.
And yesterday I offered him, can I offer you a gift card, right? I
Okay.
want to bring something and say, what's the value in it for me?
Mhm.
And I don't want to have to prove myself, right? So he's like, I work with a coach who has 40 years experience and he costs $75,000. I cost $5,000. I have like 3-4 years experience in my life. And I'm like, I'm the value. If you don't see that from our exchanges, because you keep talking to me, if you don't see that I'm bringing value just by being me, then I don't want to work with you.
Yeah.
I have to prove myself. And apparently you needed to spend $75,000 to be a match to me. For you to meet me and be in my energy, you had to spend all that money with another coach. Otherwise, you would not have had the same, inner work to be a match to me. So it's like, I don't want to work with you anyway. I just wanted you to work with me. I wanted to offer you my coaching. Like, I'm okay, thank you. Like, so I just thought it was funny because how can I compete with somebody who has 40 years experience? I can't.
No.
And that's not my goal. I don't want to compete. I believe the universe brings me what I need.
The people that you need, the people you serve best, the people you will do your best for. And that's meant to be. You're meant to guide. Yeah.
And when we like, it's going to be a yes. I won't even need to prove myself to say, oh my God, yes, I want to work with her. I don't care what technique she has. I want to work with her. And that's how you should go. Trust your gut feeling. I said, I trust in your inner being that it knows what's best for you. And if working with me is, there's anything I can do to convince you. You already made up your mind you want to work with me or not. I could convince you for hours, but if you already know it's a no, I'm just wasting my time, right?
Yeah.
So I want you to, anyone who wants to work with coaches, go with your gut feeling. How are you feeling, right? If they're telling you, oh, you need to work with me because your voice is crap, or like if they're putting you down some way, don't work with those people.
No.
You're the one you're attracting and that feel good, right? So that's what I want to say.
Uplifting like yourself. So
I will say
by the way, are the kids at school today?
Yes.
Yeah, we have election day here in the United States, so our kids are all off for school. But I was going to ask, what time do you get them off to the bus? And
actually, I bring my oldest at school at 7:50 for 7:50,
okay.
And my second one I bring her to daycare at 9.
And what time do they get back?
Get my daughter from daycare at 4, and after that go pick my other one. So around 4:50 to 30.
Great. Look at you. Well, thank you for holding space for us, for being here, for allowing us into your home like this, one-on-one. It was a great hour. Marie-Ève Mongrain, I know the website's almost on its way. In the meantime, how do we reach out to you, darling?
On Instagram at Marie, Marie, Mongrain, Mongrain 90. That's the best way to find me.
Beautiful. Well, you have a fantastic day. I'm so glad we matched today, black on black, and looking forward to next week when we speak again. Okay, sweetheart?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for being here and inspiring us.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.